Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to cut through the noise, get straight to the core insights. And today, wow, some of the numbers we came across in the sources, they really make you stop and think.
They really do.
Like, imagine hearing that, according to these sources, we might be exposed to over 140,000 chemicals every single day.
It's staggering.
And then this one, apparently, we could be absorbing about 5 grams of microplastics each week. They put it this way. Like someone tossing a credit card into your smoothie every Monday.
Yeah, that image really sticks with you. It's this almost invisible invasion happening all around us.
Exactly. And these kinds of figures, they really set the stage for why understanding detoxification and human potential and just thriving in this world we live in now, it's not just some niche wellness thing anymore.
No, it feels increasingly essential. It's a conversation we probably all need to be having.
Absolutely. So our mission here is to take these compelling sources. We looked at some YouTube transcript excerpts and really pull out the key insights. We're trying to figure out what it means to unlock that, superhuman self, to get back to a level of vibrancy maybe we've forgotten is possible.
And the main voices guiding us today are quite interesting. There's Dr. Gregory D'Amato. He runs these intense detox programs down in Costa Rica.
Right, in the jungle, apparently.
Yeah. And then there's the original host of the content who describes himself as a spiritual psychiatrist. He shares his own journey, dealing with liver issues, exploring peptides. It's quite a mix.
So we're aiming to distill their combined perspectives on how, cleaning up physically and energetically might unlock this higher potential.
And for you listening, think of this as a shortcut, a way to understand how these environmental factors might be affecting your own well-being. And maybe more importantly, what steps some definitely unconventional people are exploring to counteract it all, to find that state of flow and maybe heightened awareness.
Okay, so let's dig in. This modern toxic burden, the sources are pretty clear. It makes detox more crucial than maybe ever before. It's this huge unseen invasion. That 140,000 chemicals figure is just hard to wrap your head around.
It really is. And it's not just the chemicals, right? It's the microplastics, too. That 5 grams a week, it makes it feel much more physical somehow. Not just invisible stuff, but actual particles.
And then they claim something pretty remarkable, that glyphosate, Roundup is potentially in 50% of the air we breathe.
Wow, 50%?
Yeah. And they say it's not just a weed killer, it directly impacts something called the Shetty mate pathway. Now, I hadn't heard of that specifically, but apparently it's crucial for our gut health, our microbiome.
Okay.
And if glyphosate disrupts that pathway, the sources suggest it throws off our gut flora, which in turn messes with key neurotransmitters, serotonin, melatonin, GABA, the stuff that regulates mood, sleep, anxiety.
Right, the gut-brain connection again. So looking inside the body, where does all this burden land?
Well, according to these sources, the liver takes the biggest hit. They call it the most burdened organ in the human body in this third density state.
Third density state, meaning our physical reality.
Yeah, that's how they frame it, our current material world. And they use this analogy. Think of your liver like a clogged drain. The main detox pathway running through the liver and gallbladder using glutathione, it gets blocked.
Clogged with what exactly?
Get this, they estimate the average person might have around 30,000 liver and gallstones. Tiny ones, presumably, but still, blocking things up.
30,000, that sounds incredible.
It does, and they don't just see it as a physical problem. They connect this sort of calcified state directly to our emotions, things like anger, aggression, resentment, depression, even just losing your sense of joy and presence, like you're literally becoming more rigid, less flowy.
That's a powerful connection they're drawing between the physical and the emotional.
Yeah, and it leads into this other, maybe more out there idea that detox isn't just physical. It's needed to prepare our body, the vessel, they call it, to hold higher frequencies, maybe even move towards fifth density states.
Okay, so we're getting into more energetic or spiritual concepts here, like upgrading the body's capacity.
Kind of. They use this old saying, you can't put new wine into old wineskin. The wineskin will burst. The idea is that light workers, as they term them, are getting this message to not just send, but to descend, to bring more soul into the body.
By clearing out what isn't really you. Getting rid of the baggage, essentially.
Exactly. Clearing the way for your, true self to show up more fully.
Which brings us nicely to Dr. D'Amato's approach, his superhero program. It's set down in the jungles of Costa Rica, which sounds pretty idyllic.
Right. He emphasizes the environment itself, complete and utter silence, nature. He actually says you cannot heal the human body without scalar energy.
Scalar energy. We'll need to unpack that later.
Yeah.
But where does he start the actual program?
First thing, apparently, is adrenal burnout. He says you can't heal in a state of adrenal burnout, which makes sense, right? You need that foundation.
Absolutely. Get the stress response under control first. Then what?
Then they move into some really interesting mind-body stuff, like psilocybin microdosing.
Okay, how much?
Around 25 milligrams a day, they say. They use it as a serotonin neuronostic, basically, to help rewire the brain, to get you out of your head and more into the heart.
And the results?
They report an 80% reduction in depression over 2 weeks, which sounds very fast.
It's extremely fast. Do they explain how they measure that?
The sources don't go into the study details, no, but the emphasis is definitely on the speed and impact. And then there's this focus on structured water.
Structured water.
H3O.
Yeah, they call it the fourth phase of water, like a gel-like substance in our bodies. They have this whole process involving a subterranean oval-shaped tank based on Victor Schauberger's work.
Schauberger, yeah, the water vortex guy. Right. And they structure it with shunite and magnetize it. For showering, even. Imagine showering in energized water.
It's definitely a unique approach. So after addressing adrenals and doing these mind-body things, what's the core cleanse like?
It's pretty intense. Phase 1 is like 4 or 5 days, fasting just on young coconut water.
Why coconut water specifically?
Because, they claim, it matches 55% of our blood plasma, and they mix in about 15 other things: activated charcoal, milk thistle, moringa, stuff to pull out lower densities and heavy metals.
Okay, pulling things out. Then what?
Phase 2, they switch to chlorophyll green juice, which, interestingly, they say matches 45% of our blood hemoglobin.
Ah, the iron versus magnesium difference between blood and chlorophyll.
Exactly. And they add aloe vera, the king of plants, they call it. Its gel supposedly pulls everything out electromagnetically.
Electromagnetically?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and a huge focus is on parasites. They do 5 different parasite cleanses.
5? Wow. Why such a focus?
Because they see parasites as the miners of heavy metals. The idea is you can't really get rid of the parasites until you get rid of the metals they're holding onto: mercury, cadmium, lead, benzene solvents.
So the metals anchor the parasites, in their view.
It seems like it.
Yeah.
They also say bad bacteria is simply there because the good bacteria weren't sufficient to clean the house. It kind of reframes infections, doesn't it?
It does. It puts the focus on restoring the good guys. How do they do that?
Well, get this. They use the best probiotics that are fermented for 5 years, playing Mozart every day by a Japanese microbiologist.
Wait, playing Mozart to the probiotics.
Apparently. Mozart playing probiotics. You have to wonder about the intention there, right? Maybe creating a harmonious environment.
I suppose so. It's definitely memorable. What else is key?
Supporting the glutathione pathway. They call glutathione the garbage bags for our toxins. It's our master antioxidant.
Right, essential for detox.
So they use high doses of NAC-L-cysteine to help the body produce more glutathione. This helps fight hypoxia, which is low oxygen, and acidosis, too much acidity, which they link to disease.
So NAC boosts the body's own detox system.
Exactly. The whole program aims to clean everything: body, mind, spirit, emotions. They use entheogens, those spiritual experience-inducing substances, microdosing.
But also chocolate.
Yes, and fun and joy. It's not just about suffering through a cleanse. It's meant to be this holistic rebalancing.
Which leads to this idea of activating your inner superhero, right? Not just feeling better, but more.
Precisely. They believe detox specifically helps the pineal gland, the light crystal, or truth center, they call it. It gets gunked up, especially by fluoride-based pesticides, apparently.
And cleaning it leads to
an inherent state of flow, and heightened intuition. And it all connects back to the gut, too.
Of course.
They say the gut, the psychobiotics, they're ushered up into the brain at 1100th millionth of a second via the vagus nerve, because the gut is the factory for serotonin and dopamine.
That gut-brain speed is incredible.
Isn't it? They even suggest just touching the soil, the macrobiome they call it, helps produce those feel-good chemicals.
Grounding, literally. So the implication is clear these physical blocks.
And you might activate natural God-given abilities. That's what the sources claim. Things like clairsentience, maybe even telepathy or bilocation.
Okay, those are some extraordinary claims presented in the sources. Untapped potential.
Definitely pushing the boundaries of what we think is possible. But the threats aren't just internal, right? They talk about EMFs.
Right, electromagnetic fields. The silent destroyer, as they put it.
They pinpoint one frequency as the worst. 2.45 gigahertz, that's your microwave, cell phones, Wi-Fi.
The everyday stuff.
Yeah. And they cite a book, The Invisible Rainbow, noting this stark statistic. Heart attacks and strokes used to be way down the list of causes of death, like 26th.
Before widespread electricity.
Exactly, pre-electrification. Then, they claim, it quickly shot up to number 2.
Wow. Now, correlation isn't causation, but that's a strong correlation they're pointing out.
Yeah. Definitely makes you think. They say EMFs mess with cytochrome oxidase C.
Which is vital for energy production, right?
Yeah.
Breaking down fats, proteins, carbs.
Yeah. And they link EMFs to 8 times more cortisol, the stress hormone, and 8 times less melatonin, the sleep hormone.
So constantly switched on, terrible sleep, less efficient energy use.
And brain dyscoherence, they call it. Like your brain waves are out of sync, affecting focus and clarity.
So what's the antidote they propose?
Scalar energy, the kind found in nature. They believe it displaces that harmful 2.45 gigahertz frequency.
Allowing the body to heal and rest properly.
Right. They mention devices like Blue Shield that supposedly pump out scalar energy to create a protective bubble.
How do they think this works on a fundamental level?
They describe DNA itself as an antenna for light. Beautiful phrase, actually. A Fibonacci spiral of love, which is magnetic.
Okay.
And light is electrical. So DNA plus light creates electromagnetic wholeness. But foreign frequencies, like EMFs, disrupt that natural harmony. They mess with our basic energetic blueprint.
It's a very energetic view of biology. And this all feeds into a bigger picture they paint, doesn't it? About humanity being at a crossroads.
Yeah, moving from distraction to conscious creation. They bring up David Hawkins' consciousness scale.
Oh, right, the map of consciousness. Where do they say we are now?
Humanity globally is apparently at 207, which signifies courage and responsibility. That's the level where evolution really kicks in, according to the scale.
And the U.S. specifically.
They put the U.S. at 453, which they connect to leading that new 1776 revolution, but in consciousness this time.
Interesting. And what's significant about reaching level 200 on that scale?
That's the point where they claim we also know the difference between truth and falsehood. So this rising consciousness is supposedly helping people discern what's real, what serves them.
Which leads to this choice.
Exactly. Distraction, Netflix, social media, all that versus active creation. They mention the 100th monkey effect.
The idea that once enough individuals learn something, it spreads rapidly.
Right. And this concept that each soul has the ability to bypass up to 10 million other souls at a lower vibration with the power of the image.
The power of focused intention, visualization.
Yeah, connecting to the Heisenberg observer principle, the idea that pure expectation, 100% expectation, like the Jesus turning water into wine example they use, can actually shape reality.
Because the challenge is,
Yeah.
Don't just watch life happen.
Pretty much. Stop being a passive observer, become an active creator, even just investing 2 minutes a day visualizing the reality you want.
And this relates to bigger societal concerns, too.
Yes, they touch on things like Agenda 2030 and the AI, warning against feeling disempowered or just letting things happen to us.
Advocating for vigilance.
Constant vigilance, yeah, the cost of freedom, and that applies physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all levels.
It's a call to shift our mindset, isn't it?
Definitely. From fear of scarcity to love of abundance, from fear of disease to love of health.
And their core principle seems to be light disculls darkness.
Exactly. Darkness is just a deficiency in light. So you bring in light, photonic food, raw food, herbs, even that amazing chocolate, and you illuminate the body.
The belief is that people are waking up.
Yeah, they seem quite optimistic. People are awakened, detoxing, rejecting poisons, becoming empowered for action and true creation. They say it's time for humanity to choose. Slavery versus freedom. And freedom, interestingly, they equate with acceptance.
Acceptance.
Ugh.
Now, shifting gears slightly, there was another pathway mentioned, particularly by the psychiatrist host, peptides.
Ah, yes, peptides. He was initially skeptical, apparently, but became a firm believer after 15 years of research and his own experiences.
And he stressed the importance of the source.
Big time. He distinguished between real straight, made in USA from a compounding shop pharmacy, pure peptides, and research peptides from China. Purity and source are critical, he says.
So what are peptides, simply put?
He described them as short-chain amino acids, like little light signals in the body that activate specific pathways.
And the benefits they're linked to.
Things like more energy, weight loss, muscle building, anti-aging effects, even hair growth. quite a
There
range.
was some political context mentioned, too.
Yeah, briefly.
Right.
That the FDA tried to ban peptides, and that RFK apparently said he'd legalize them if elected, with the reasoning being because they work. Again, just reporting what the source said there.
And accessibility seems key for them.
Yes, they highlight that these affordable, pure pharmaceutical peptides can be ordered from home and delivered quickly.
But dosing is important.
Crucial.
Right.
They mention an offer for a free 15-minute consult with a peptide coach to find the right peptide and the right dosing, warning against overdosing.
Good safety advice.
Yeah.
Just wrapping this all up.
Yeah.
It's quite a journey from toxins to peptides to conscious creation.
It really is. And maybe the final thought to leave people with is this. This personal commitment, this detoxing, this seeking flow, it might not just be about you.
According to these sources, it contributes to something bigger.
Yeah, this collective human resonance that they believe is rising. They say all it does is light exposes darkness.
A simple but profound idea.
So maybe the question for you listening is, what personal darkness, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, are you ready to bring light to clear out, so you can fully step into your own superhero self, especially now in what feels like a pretty historical time?
A powerful question indeed. And if people want to learn more about Dr. D'Amato's work,
They can check out superhero.com and his superhero podcast. His center is on the Caribbean coast of Costa Rica, and yes, apparently the chocolate is amazing.
good to know. And the peptide research.
That was limitlesslivingmd.com, and the code mentioned was DRLEE for 15% off.
Great. Well, this has been a fascinating exploration.
It certainly has. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.